Hello everyone, this video was requested many times because a lot of people seem to be struggling with how to draw a guy's face, and you might have seen it in the title already, but that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how I draw a basic face actually, so you can also use it for drawing a girl, but it's also going to go into how to make a face more masculine than girly. And I hope you guys like it. Now I must say that I'm very much not a professional and I'm not very much an expert on proportions and how to draw a face, but I can show you tips that help me improve how I draw a face, because if you've seen my old drawings, you know that I've improved a lot. They used to be very much of my weakest spot. But yeah, I'm going to give you guys a few tips and tricks that I use personally, and I think that learning from other artists is probably the best thing that you can do. So I'm going to go into it. I must say that it is going to be real time, so it's going to be very slow in the beginning. I'm going to speed up through the line arting and coloring process later, but I'm just going to sketch slowly. Also, this video is a little bit early because it's now Sunday and I usually upload my videos on Monday, but I have a lot of videos planned out, so if you guys are excited for that, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up on this video, by subscribing and adding it to your favorites if you like it that much, so that I know that you guys really are excited to see my videos. I also have a giveaway planned. I'm not sure what and when yet, but I have a lot of ideas in my head already for it. So if you guys want that faster, share this video with your friends, your art friends that could use help in drawing boys, or share any of my other videos, including fan art which they might be fans of, and send it to them, show it to them, and ask them to subscribe as well. Anyway, I'm going to go into the video. Enough rambling. Enjoy! So I opened up my canvas already, and it's 2000 by 2000 pixel canvas, and I'm going to zoom a little bit here. Actually, I'm not drawing as I'm recording this. I actually drew this before, so I might be a little bit slow. Anyway, I'm starting with an airbrush and I'm going to start sketching a circle. And guidelines are really important because this way you can actually adjust the proportions before you go into detail, and you don't have to erase the details later. Erase? What's it pronounced? I don't know. Okay, I'm drawing the jawline now, and I'm also drawing a line in the middle of the face, so you can see his head is a little bit tilted down, and it's a 3/4 profile. Also, when you draw the jawline, when you draw a guy, the jaw is going to be much more square than a girl's jaw. A girl's jaw is usually more round and soft. His neck is also going to be a little bit broader, and it's going to line up with the back of his head. You can feel with yourself, it really lines up with the back. He is also leaning down a little bit, so it overlaps a little bit with his shoulders, and I'm going to adjust a lot of it later. Also, I'm flipping the drawing here, which helps a lot if you want to get your drawing more even, more balanced, because you just gotta look at your old drawings and load it into your favorite program and then flip it, and you will see that almost all the time that you draw, it's going to be slightly off. It leans to one side more than the other, and it's very common, but it can be fixed really easily if you flip in the early process of the drawing. I'm drawing the nose and the eyes. I'm not drawing very detailed noses right now, but bigger noses are usually more masculine. Also, slanted eyes tend to be more masculine as well, but it really depends on the character. What's also very common for guys' eyes is that they usually are more droopy than a girl's eye. A girl's eye tends to go up a little bit more, and that's one of the tips that I learned from an art teacher of Nikki. And he says that's why girls always wear eyeliner that wings up, you know, it makes you look more feminine. It's also important to draw the eyelid on top, because I tend to do that a lot so that it has more detail and looks a little bit more realistic, so that it could be more real, you know. When you draw the other eye, make sure that it lines up, and it doesn't line up just now, but you can select the eye and then you can resize it and readjust it and make it look a little nicer. It's going to be adjusted even more in the future because I'm never happy with my drawings, and even when they're finished I see all those things that I still want to fix, and it's really annoying. I try not to go back to them too much. Okay, I'm drawing the mouth now, and guys' mouths tend to have smaller lips and they tend to be wider as well. If you want to draw a cute girl, you are going to draw full, small, cutesy lips. I'm also coloring in the pupil a bit already. Keep in mind that the bigger the pupil and the darker the eyes, the friendlier a person is going to look. It looks more warm, I guess. I don't know what it exactly is. I'm also giving him teeth because I think teeth add a lot of detail to my style. It's very personal though. As you can see, I'm already adjusting more things like the eyelids here because I'm never content with them. Even though I drew his pupils a bit bigger earlier, I'm going to give him a bit of a, you know, I'm not so trustworthy face. I also adjusted the pupils a little bit because they weren't aligned properly. This is very important, otherwise they're going to look like they're cross-eyed or derp-eyed, which is kind of weird. I draw on different layers when I'm sketching so that I can adjust what I'm drawing separately. I'm also going to draw the hair on a different layer later so that it is easier to adjust. And so that I can go back to the face and adjust it as well. Okay, I'm drawing the eyebrows now, and when you draw a guy's eyebrows are not plucked. They are not styled and they don't have an arch in it that much. Some guys do, and it makes them look a little bit more mischievous? How do you pronounce that? I'm not going to try even, but you know what I mean. And they're looking a bit more, you know, sassy. I'd say sassy, yes. But also just always make them look a bit more full and a little bit more masculine, you know. That's what makes a guy face look like a guy face. I'm already adjusting the eyes again because I thought they were a bit too anime, a bit too big, so I'm making them a little bit smaller. Smaller eyes are also a way of making a character look older, more mature, or more masculine. Bigger eyes make a character look cuter, younger, and girlier. I'm sorry, my screen is kind of derping. Okay, now I can see what I'm doing again. I'm drawing the ear, and the ear usually starts above the you know, what's it called? The corner in your jaw. Like, it's the end of your jaw, but it goes up a little bit, and that's where your ear starts. You can feel your own ear if you are not sure where to draw it. And the tip of the ear usually lines up with the eyes. I'm drawing the hair now, and I'm doing the drawing the hair in separate strands. I'm sorry, I keep tripping over my words. I need to talk a little bit slower, but I'm afraid that I miss bits. Yeah, I'm drawing the hair in different strands so that I can adjust the volume better, so that I can make a nicer shape, because if you're going to draw all the individual hairs, it's going to be very hard and very time consuming, and it's not going to be very nice. You can add this in shading later, but this drawing will have a simpler style, so I won't add a lot of hairs. I'm adding more and more strands right now, and what's important is that you add a lot of volume to the hair usually. You don't have to add a lot of volume, of course, if the hair of the person is kind of, you know, hanging down, not very thick, but it's important not to draw it completely glued to the face, even if it's really thin hair. What's also important is that hair around the face usually kind of falls inwards. It kind of gets pulled towards the face. You can also style it outwards, but it generally falls around the face and it creates a frame that you can pretty much play around with to your liking. As you can see, I sketch kind of slow, so I'm very sorry for that. Sometimes I just don't know what to say to fill up the audio part of this video. Hope you guys don't mind. I love the selection and scale and free transform functions. They save my life every time. That's why digital art to me is really easy. When you draw on paper, and especially like me, when you draw using ballpoint pen, you can just adjust so little, and it's really frustrating if you do something slightly wrong. Like, it's not really wrong, but slightly wrong, and you just sit there like, it's not even. Do you get my pain? Do you get it? Leave a comment if you do, so we can cry together. I drew a Ahoka, but I'm removing that later because it definitely doesn't suit him. It's too cutesy for him. You can draw those though, they're fun. Best anime thing ever. I'm turning it around slightly so that it looks a little bit better, and I'm also flipping the drawing many times throughout the drawing process. Someone messaged me on Facebook. I'm sorry, I'll mute the speakers. I'm adjusting the eyes a little bit more, and I'm going to make them a bit more closed, and slightly more closed eyes give a more mysterious look. I think it suits him. I think it does. I'm adjusting more and more, but it's starting to look a little bit more nice. So yeah, I'm removing the ahoga right now, like I said before, because it doesn't suit him at all. But I'm going to draw a little bit more hair so that it looks a bit more interesting, a little bit more fluffy later. Also adjusting his eyebrows slightly so that he looks a little more mysterious once again. Suits his eyes a little bit better. Longer eyebrows usually make a character... yeah, I don't know how to exactly say that, but short eyebrows make a person look more cute and innocent, and longer eyebrows make a person look more... yeah, not really... It's a combination of mature and mysterious and creepy, and I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. My vocabulary is not that big. Not that huge, not that big. I knew 2 words for that, and it almost killed me. I'm sorry if I sometimes ramble too much. I really need to focus on the drawing a little bit more, but I'm not doing much interesting now. I'm just fixing the whole thing. I just wanted to show how I draw in real time a little bit better, because speed paintings are nice, but it's really hard to follow what I exactly do most of the time. And especially when I do voice narration, it's so annoying when I see myself draw so quickly and I have to narrate it and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Stop, slow down, woman! It's really, really, really frustrating. So when I flip this drawing now, it looks pretty nice. As I said, this really helps getting your drawing even. Of course, in manga, it doesn't matter too much because it's not realism. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to look nice and attractive to the eye, even if it's not an attractive character, you know. It has to look somewhat nice and logical. I removed the initial guidelines and I'm merging the sketch together right now. Adding a little bit more hair. And this should be about it. I'm going to line art the sketch now, and to line art the sketch, this was a tip that someone asked me on Instagram. I'm actually speeding up the process of the drawing right now, so I'm going much and much faster. Anyway, I don't know what their username was, but they asked me if I could help them with smoother lines on Instagram. Oh wait, it's Jawline Love Anime. And she just got Psy and she was like, how do I make lines smoother? And I have this really nice thing that I found out in another tutorial one day, and it's right in the top of the screen. I will add a little thing in this while I edit it so that you can actually see it. Anyway, it is the stabilizer, and I usually set it to about S2, S3 or S4 in order to create smoother lines. And what it does is that it smooths down, slows down actually what you draw. So it when you draw a line, it pulls behind it a little bit slower so that it's not that wobbly, and you can actually take more time to create smooth lines. And this especially helps with hair and the face outline, because those have to be very round and smooth. When I draw the eyes and nose and lips and all that stuff, like the small details, I usually set it to a lower setting because I like to add more detail in there and have more control. Anyway, using this I can line art pretty fast and smoothly, and it's nice. Even though I'm doing it very sloppily for this drawing, this is not going to be like a very polished piece, but it's still going to have a nice line art. It's kind of like cartoony, this style. It's more cartoony than my usually painting style due to the fact that it's line arted and not painted to begin with, but to make a drawing more cartoony, you can actually play with the lines in making the outlines thicker than the lines inside the drawing, like the actual outer lines. That's what you make thicker, and it's going to make your drawing a lot more cartoony. I'm doing that right now. I'm going to add more weight to some parts of the line art and adjust it to what I think looks nice. Okay, I'm using the bucket tool and the pen tool, a combination of those to add color to the drawing, and I'm going with a bit of a weird color scheme? What is it? Tell me in the comments, please. Anyway, I felt like playing around with skin and hair color. I hope you like it somewhat. I think he could look like a Vampinese from Darren Chan. Oh my god, I love those books. I still do. I need to continue reading. I'm actually rereading it in English, and I think it improves my English language abilities a lot. I still love them though, so if you haven't read them yet, you should. The movie was terrible though, we do not speak of it. It was nice in some ways, but it was a nice movie, but it was just not the book, you know? They changed too much in order to be similar to it. For the rest of the coloring, I basically use a combination of the pen tool, the airbrush tool, and the water tool to blend on shadows, etc. But I'm not really doing it in a particular way, I'm just experimenting in order to make the colors look slightly more interesting. I will not go into it too much in this video because I have made more detailed digital drawing videos, but I can make a more specific tutorial on things if you guys want to, so just leave a comment with what you would like to see and I will put it on my list of what to make in a video. I'm just going to it really quickly now. There's really not much that I can say other than white lines like these can actually add a little bit more detail and make it look, I don't know, I think that it adds a lot of shine to it that looks interesting. It's always good to add highlights instead of just shadows. Because just adding shadows will just make it look really flat. Multiple layers can act really well as shadow layers if you do not want to shade very detailed, like me in this drawing. Like so white and shading the white as well. It's always important to not forget to shade the whites because it will look pretty awkward if you don't. I don't do it much with the teeth in this case though, because it's still cartoony, so it's allowed to have some parts without much shading. I'm adding some highlights to the hair in my regular style. And I'm merging all the layers together, adding some more details. And in a layer behind it, I'm now creating like a circle thing that I think adds a little niceness to it. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was somewhat useful to you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up and add it to your favorites if you think it was worthy. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and also leave me comments or messages telling me what you would like to see on my channel. Yeah, last but not least, please share this video with your friends that can use some help. It will help me out a lot. And if you're interested in commissioning me or buying one of my prints, please check out the links or just send me a message to ask me about the details. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.